everyone, welcome back to the class. Now we are going to discuss regional impact of this climate change from the chapter Our Environment. The impact of climate change will not be uniform across the regions. So what is written? Climate change is taking place. The effect of it is not going to be equal in every part of the globe. The capability to cope up with climate change is different in different areas, and how people can cope up with the climate change in different area, the adaptability, the ability to cope up with the situation is completely different. For instance, for example, in Asia and Africa, the adaptive capacity of human populations is low due to variety of factors. For example, in Asia and Africa, in these places, what will happen? The adaptive capacity will be low. In the countries which are in Asia continent or in African countries, they will be they can't cope up with the climate change. It is very difficult on their part to cope up and to tolerate this climate change. And more floods, drought, forest fire, tropical cyclones are predicted for tropical Asia. And for tropical Asia, there will be more flood, drought, forest fire, tropical cyclone, all these things are going to be there. The region will also be affected by decreased agricultural productivity and sea level rise. And agricultural productivity will decrease and sea level will increase. However, in northern Asia, agriculture would expand, but in northern Asia, this agriculture will expand a lot. Infectious disease will rise in parts of Asia, and in different parts of Asia, this infectious disease will also increase. Millions of people living in low-lying coastal areas will be forced to migrate, and the people who are living low-lying coastal area, and particularly in coastal area, they have to migrate, they have to shift to another place. Biodiversity will come under threat due to changes in land use pattern, and biodiversity also will be affected because there will be completely different use of land pattern will be there. The southern boundary of the permafrost zones of Asia would move northwards. So, the southern boundary of the permafrost zone, it also will move towards the north side. North America and Europe will be affected by climate change, but the adaptive capacity is high in these regions. North American and European countries, they also will be affected, but here what is the advantage? Their adaptive capacity is quite high. Southern Europe and European Arctic regions are more vulnerable than other parts of Europe. So, Southern Europe and European Arctic region, they are in the first target. They are going to be the chief victim than other part of Europe. Similarly, indigenous people means the local people, the original inhabitant of the place, and communities in North America will have difficulty in adapting to climate change. Some crops in North America and Canada will benefit from modest warming and increased CO2, but this benefit will decline with time as the temperature increases further. So what will happen? In North America, means some part of North America and Canada, crop production will be quite high because of increased CO2. But when the CO2 is increasing furthermore in these places, once again the production of the grain, production of food will decrease. It means for a limited time period they are going to get the benefit from this climate change. And northern region in Europe and North America will experience early spring and increased water flow. There will be early spring in northern regions in Europe as well as in North America. Fall in the level of water in the Great Lakes can be expected, and in the Great Lakes there might be waterfall, means water level might decrease. Polar regions are highly vulnerable to climate change. And which region are highly vulnerable to climate change? Polar regions. Their ecosystem are fragile, means weak. Their ecosystem is very weak. Climate change will be the most rapid in these areas. Permafrost thawing, reduction of sea ice, coastal erosion, etc. are already occurring in these places. So all these things are already happening in these places, and once again this climate change is taking place. Though climate change is taking place since 1 or 2 decades, but still this time it is taking place in a very fast manner. So these things will be more severe. And some polar ecosystems may be destroyed completely, while some other may adapt. Some of the polar ecosystem they will adapt, but others also, means some will be able to adapt and some other ecosystem will be completely destroyed. Some of them may be replaced by species migrating from warmer latitude, and it might be possible that some of these places will be occupied by the species which are coming from the warmer places. The modification in the global climate brought about by the change in the polar region may last for centuries and could cause irreversible impact on ice sheet, global ocean circulation and sea level rise. So if polar region is also changing, the effect will be long term. And what will happen? The effect will be irreversible, means it can't come back. Okay? And what will happen? That impact on ice sheet will be melt, and global ocean circulation, sea level rise, all these things will take place. Small island states are extremely concerned over the possibility of expected sea level rise due to melting of ice and the thermal expansion of water is a result of global warming. So here the theme is small islands. For example, in Odisha, Chilika and some other, Sonpur is also there, that is also an island. So all these places, they will sink, they will go underwater. Chances are there. Listen, I am not sure, but what is written? When sea level is going to rise, okay, definitely it will take all the nearby areas and particularly the islands, even Rameshwaram also, because that is also an island, okay. And next what is written? They will be exposed, enhanced coastal erosion, migration and increased risk of storm surges. Some of the smaller islands may disappear completely in the next 100 years. And here this prediction is being given by the scientists, that the small island, just like your Kalijai, that is the small island also, that will completely vanish. Okay, that will completely disappear, that will completely submerge underwater. Okay, that will not be destroyed, but that will go down water. And the livelihood of their population will be adversely affected. Though in Kalijai people are, most of the people are not, means almost no one is living there, but still people who are living, means people who are earning their livelihood from that place, they will be affected or not. Common thing. Sri Lanka, that is also an island. Okay, that also is might be highly affected because of this climate change. Agriculture, which support the population of this island and provide them with earning from cash crop export, is highly vulnerable to climate change. And agriculture will be affected. Cash crop production, cash crop, okay, means just like your jute, cotton, these are the cash crop. So cash crop production also will be affected because of this climate change. The understanding of the physical, biological and socio-economic impact of projected climate change is still incomplete, but still to understand the effect of climate change is incomplete. Means the social, biological and economic impact we can't read it completely. This has led some people to question the validity of IPCC projections and estimates. And here people are also questioning, means putting question on the projection of IPCC. Means what they have spoken, either it is going to take place or not. The fact, however, remains that numerous studies in different disciplines following varying methodologies all point to one direction: global warming is here and its overall impact will be negative. So the study is going on, and most of the scientists, they also have done this study, but the finding is global warming is on urge. Okay, and the effect of this global warming is going to be adverse. Means it is not at all going to be a favorable change, but it is going to be to some extent devastated effect on our life and livelihood. And socio-economic disruption are bound to occur. The regional impact will be variable. So will be the capacity of different societies to adapt. Despite uncertainties and incomplete misunderstanding of the global and regional process, that will be triggered by global warming, the time to act is now. So now is the time that we have to act. We have to try to stop this global warming, because if global warming is going on, definitely in the near future, in the very recent future, we are going to suffer incredibly. Global warming is not usual in the history of the planet, but global is not, means it is not unusual, it is a common thing. The difference this time around is that it is occurring at a rapid pace means speed. Global warming was there in the past, right now it is also there, but the basic difference is that right now it is taking place at a very fast rate, very fast this global warming is taking place. The difference, the impact of global warming will be visible over the time span of a single generation, and after a single generation means almost within 20 to 25 years, we can find out what are the changes that is going to take place because of this global warming. And there is urgent need to take effective action. The Kyoto Protocol of 1997 suggested certain limit on the emission of CO2 by major developed countries. These restrictions will still not be accepted. In the meanwhile, the planet continues to get warmer and warmer. So, some of the countries, the Kyoto Protocol means, some of the countries, they have given strict rules on emission level, on the use of vehicles, but still these things are not going to work in the fine way. The apocalyptic scenario drawn by the IPCC Working Group 2, which enjoy medium to high level probability of occurrence, may become a reality if steps are not taken immediately to reduce the emission of the major greenhouse gases. So just like your chlorofluorocarbon, carbon dioxide, if these gases emission is not stopped or not checked, definitely global warming is going to take place and the overall impact is going to be negative. And the truth is that our globe is getting warmer and warmer day by day. Okay, so you also have to think on how to stop this global warming. So with this, your climate change chapter is also over. Next we are going to read unit 3. All of you have a nice time.